All right, everyone, welcome to another episode of the White Banana Podcast. And for this episode, we have no other than Parnassus.
Hello.
Hey, welcome, Parnassus, and good to have you on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
And also, we have Jimmy, of course.
Hello guys.
So, how you doing? How have you been lately? You've been doing a lot of gigs, I see. So, one of the nights, I think you're holding one of the nights here in White Banana?
Yeah, we have one of our nights here called Confessionals every Wednesday at White Banana. That night is mostly tailored around commercial to more underground dance music. So it's more of an introductory event for people that don't really understand or want to get into dance music. So that's pretty much what Confessionals is.
Yeah.
But you focus more on the left field type of music, right?
We used to actually, but then we started to rebrand it because of the fact that we wanted to kind of catch a broader market in terms of what people wanted to kind of listen to during Wednesdays.
Yeah.
So obviously we're not gonna get into full-on mainstream for Wednesdays, but we want to just touch on more of a little bit of a commercial sound for Wednesdays, up to more of a mix of commercial and underground music for that time.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Aside from the regular gigs, you also have your special events like bringing international DJs these days, right?
Yeah, so our collective, Communique, we have a bunch of subgroups or sub-collectives that focus on trance events and also house music and techno events here in Manila. So we try to focus on our brand of events that kind of bring our sound to Manila as well. And White Banana is kind enough to also give us that opportunity to host these events as well. So it's really a good thing.
And does these events like focus more on specific music, like you've been doing like the international DJs with most of the time they have the trance music as being the trance DJs being the headliners.
Yeah, so the music that we focus on, obviously it's going to be the music that we want to shape our collective. Like for example, Communique is strictly house, techno, a little bit of tech house as well. Giga Slux, which is more of the sub collective underneath it, is more trance and techno, full on harder and melodic sounds. So that's why we have different styles that really explore these collectives and show it to different people. So there's a different market for each collective altogether. So
And right, and with that you have launched a new night at White Banana. A special night, not on a weekly basis, but I think that's a monthly basis.
Yeah.
Every 2 months for now. It's Leviathan.
Yep. So Leviathan is actually the first. I want to proudly say it's actually one of the first trance music nights in White Banana in all of Manila, I believe.
After pandemic.
After pandemic, there hasn't been a trance music themed night since in a while actually.
And a lot have been asking if there's a decent place where they kind of play trance. So
actually,
so I think it's about in time.
It's about time, and also if as we talked before, it's a little bit challenging as we are proposing in a moment where underground is struggling and we are bringing it back. Not only we as White Banana, but we as community. Well, now we are presenting already trance, which is complicated for it's a complicated dish to bring on the table.
Absolutely.
Well, everything these days I'd say is complicated. Even if you're bringing house back, techno, everything's complicated after the pandemic. But aside from all these, events, DJing stuff, you're still holding the Sessions Academy School for DJs.
Yeah, actually.
How's it going now?
It's doing really well, really strong. We're proud to say that we've marked around our 100th student since
Wow.
we started out 2020. Well, we started out 2021 since the pandemic hit, and then we opened again in 2022. Since that time, we've hit our 100th marked enrolled student in Sessions Academy, which is a big feat because I feel like we were actually almost going to close down, and because of the fact that we didn't have a place to be, two, financial, troubles in terms of trying to keep it open. At the same time, we didn't really have an ongoing enrollment a steady enrollment in Sessions Academy. So good thing that when everything started opening up, a lot of students that were actually waiting on us to open were eager to come back.
What about on the DJ side? What's the most rewarding thing that you get from being a DJ?
Oh man. Well, before I used to just starting out was just playing in front of people, but there comes a time, I guess, in a DJ's career where you're kind of like, okay, what is the next step? Like for me, at least personally, that step before was battling, because hip hop was
yeah, you started as a hip hop DJ, right?
And then when there was a time when I was just battling like really small battles. These weren't DMC grade battles, but these were just battles in San Francisco. But that was it. That was just battles, and then eventually I kind of like grew out of it to the point where okay, the actual absolute last frontier in I guess in the DJ's career, in my opinion, is production, music production. Playing your own music and seeing the crowd like vibe out to it and really get energized by the music that you're playing, you produced your own, and seeing them really react to the crescendos and the things that you've actually put in. That's the most rewarding part of being a DJ.
When did you start the producing?
I started out in 2012.
2012. What was your first label? Got you signed into?
So the first label was a long time ago. I don't know if they're still around. It's called like House Tracks or whatever. It was a small label based out in the UK. Gave me my first little release. Probably not the best sounding release ever. I think I still have it, like it's still out there, but at least it kind of gave me like a little taste of what it is to be released. It was fun, not professional at all.
Producing and releasing the track, that's
getting a taste of like what getting signed to a contract and getting signed to a label and getting released. So that's actually pretty fun. But yeah, it's really getting people to react to your music is probably the best feeling ever. Your own music, your own work. That's the next frontier.
What name were you using back then?
So right now I'm known as a different. I have different names. The first name was God. That was my first DJ name, and I stuck to it for a long time, and that was the name that I stuck with.
Was it the name you used with that first release?
Yeah, actually.
Is that the God? Yeah, look it up.
Please don't look it up.
This guy has alter egos, There is one with the glasses, one without, like Kent.
Yeah, I've got masks, and I've got
So talking about the alter egos, you have two, right?
Yeah.
You go by Parnassus and Luis del Carmen.
Yep.
Right. So tell us more about those two alter egos.
So Parnassus is definitely more trance music, which is really melodic, big sounding dance music. We're upwards of like 134 BPM to 140 BPM. Really big sounding stuff for arenas, for big clubs. If you're familiar with the sound of Armin van Buuren,
of course,
Barry Corsten, Paul Van Dyke. Who else? Paul Oakenfold back in the day. Who else?
Even Tiesto.
Even Tiesto. I was gonna say like the old Tiesto. Yeah, not the old one, not the new one, obviously, but the old Tiesto. That's the sound that is trance music now. Well, now I guess trance music is defined as that big sound, big melodic crescendos and arena sounding. Chords and whatnot, so that's my.
On top of it, as you named Tiesto, one of the greatest DJ we had. There was a big underground DJ that moved to EDM.
Yeah.
Also, a few weeks ago, he released a great melodic house track.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name, but it's amazing. So you, as DJ, as an underground DJ, how do you look at this world boom of EDM? That is super commercial and is attracting, because of money, a lot of the OGs, as you say, a lot of the old school DJs to leave their passion to EDM.
Yeah.
They say they love EDM, which is pretty clear that most of them they don't, and they do for money.
Yeah.
I understand the point of money because business.
Okay, that's true.
But how do you look at this this situation?
It's a double-edged sword, because like, you know, you could say that EDM kind of killed off dance music, but at the same time it kind of gave it the push it needed that to really get out there. I mean, before it was kind of like this sub genre of or just a really invisible genre that nobody really listened to. Everybody kind of listened to hip hop and pop, and there are people that knew dance music knew it as techno music. That's what they used to say, like for dance music, is this generic term as techno music.
Yeah, they do techno a little bit of everything.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, why do you listen to techno music, or why do you make techno music? So that's their generic term. And then when the EDM boom kind of came out, it kind of brought this whole, you know, industry to light, and everybody loved it. Unfortunately, it kind of dumbed down, you know, and I say dumbed down, it kind of like made it into package-sized McDonald's versions of what dance music should be, and unfortunately it kind of, you know, it minimized the culture, and also kind of made it, you know, really how do I say, commercial. And
EDM is very commercial. I mean,
yeah.
There is also, to me, to my point of view, there is also some good EDM.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not so much, but there is some.
Yeah.
And
Are we saying this because we're older than the guys who are enjoying it right now, or what do you think? Because if I see kids going on festivals, like,
true.
wow, it's a
Maybe-
time of their lives.
Maybe
you know?
it's a different generation thing. You know, when I was a kid, I was loving hip hop. Now I cannot hear hip hop anymore. I can hear in the old hip hop through the
same.
old hip hop. But like the great Puff Daddy said, hip hop now, it's, to me, it's no more hip hop. That's what it is. It's all the same. They rap all the same. They do all the same. The style all the same. You cannot recognize a guy from the other. They talk about licking their crack, killing someone, violence and things. When before hip hop was something underground too. You know.
Absolutely.
I remember
Absolutely.
I still own this vinyl, first release of What's My Name of Puff Daddy. It was
Eminem.
Puff Daddy.
Oh, Puff
You know, we are talking about.
I know you're
90s.
talking about Eminem.
One of my first vinyl, and it was, wow. And now you hear this thing, they are all the same. So it's also this is why
So you also played vinyl back in the days?
I started with vinyls because the only thing was available was vinyls there.
What was your first medium when you were mixing?
It was
Like,
vinyl. It was vinyl.
Vinyl?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was vinyl, actually.
But let me ask you guys something. Like, back in the days, we used to...
This is Joe Pesci.
That's Joe Pesci.
Our bull.
He's one of our sponsors.
He's a big supporter of underground music. Joe Pesci, anyway. Buono. Come here. Say hi. Do you like techno music?
So let me go back to the one I was asking you guys. Back in the days, we used to dig crates, look for like physical records to play. Now, like, unlike these days, it's all about like digital, and you can just easily get everyone's song
in a moment.
in a moment.
Shazam.
Exactly.
Or you can do like someone, you Shazam your
You could pay someone 500 pesos, and then they'll give you 3
and-
gigs of
Exactly. So
yeah.
what do you think about that? Like, is it more fun back in the days when you were?
Absolutely.
Yeah, try to dig more for
Back
more
in the day,
records.
you know, it's like it's.
But how do you prepare your sets these days? Like, how do you select your tracks?
Oh man.
Your weapon? How do you,
Yeah.
you know, because right now it's like almost everybody's sounding the same. How do you keep yourself, unique from the others in terms of music?
I guess for me, I do it similar to how I used to do it. Like before, what I would do is I would go to the record shop and I would just, do a trial of every single, LP that single that I see.
So right now there's the record shop. You just go
Yeah.
shopping online.
So
and then,
that would mean going on Beatport, and
Right.
since dance music is my thing, that's exactly where I go. With even more specifically in Beatport,
you can preview.
you could
Right.
preview it instantly. But even more specifically, I don't even go because everybody. I mean, obviously everybody's on Beatport, but
Right.
I don't even go through the main top 100.
The top
anymore.
100.
I Because I mean, obviously everybody's on the top 100 in Beatport. That's exactly where everybody's at. And I mean, obviously, that's where you have to be if you're a producer. But for me,
If you want to stay different.
If you want to stay different, there's other producers that are getting featured that are way more interesting and way more talented that are not in these labels that I constantly look at, and I'm just like, oh, this sounds so awesome. This is such a unique record, and nobody else would have it. But they're not in the top 100, for some weird reason. But they're so it's like a gem, they're not featured there. So that's exactly how I do
It's
it.
a question of patience too, you know. As you come from those schools, so it's you were listening to your vinyl, choosing.
Yeah.
Okay, when you choose a song, a track is a cherry picking.
Yep.
And now they don't want to listen. They go on the top chart 10, and
Yeah.
they download that 10 without listening.
Yeah, that's
they
true.
go to the main chart of the main DJ and download, and they present themselves with.
Yeah.
With tracks that they don't know.
Yeah.
And the tracks that everybody's saying has. So it's
But trust me, when I go to Beatport for the top 100, start from the bottom,
Yeah.
going up.
yes.
That's what I do.
What I do is I look only on the new releases. So I try to
Yeah.
to discover something.
Sure.
Guys, let's have a shot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
by the
give
way,
it a
this White Banana podcast is supported by Jägermeister, so
Jäger.
from time to time you can see us like doing shots. Jägermeister is, by the way, super supportive all the almost all the nights for White Banana, and whenever you go up on the 6th floor, White Banana, you can order your Jaegers.
Ice cold.
Ice
Yeah,
cold.
thanks God. Jägermeister has been a big supporter on underground music here. It's they try to help us for this, and that's why
You can shoot it straight. You can have it with another drink, another shot of Jaeger, or probably Red Bull.
What as they like to say, 2 shots is better than 1. So
Cheers.
enjoy.
Cheers.
Thank you, Jägermeister. All right, going on with the interview. I would say so. You play like different genres, right? For your musical influence, and I would say that's different from trance and techno or house.
Yes.
With trance, who are your influences?
Still and will always be Ferry Corsten, number 1. 2, Tiesto, old Tiesto. I can't deny that because a lot of my records back in the day was Tiesto. Cosmic or Suburban Train, one of the first records I got from Tiesto. Definitely one of really impacted my sound to this day. Third, I think would be it's a really big toss up between old Cosmic Gate,
I know you're gonna
Yeah.
say that.
really old Cosmic Gate, and then I think
What about Chicane?
check. Yeah, Chicane would be great.
We'll cut
More on that later.
We'll cut that one.
Yeah, so that's a good one. So Cosmic Gate actually really good influence in my music. So
For house, you go way back, like back in the disco house or proper house, like when Chicago was starting with techno.
oh, for me. So for house music, for me, like I really did not get into it until I guess was it Roger Sanchez, old Roger Sanchez.
Gotcha.
And then eventually it's more of like I love a lot of melodic, a lot of chords with my house music, so a lot of old Roger Sanchez was my thing. Felix the House Cat for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And then when Paul Oakenfold kind of went into his house phase, that actually got me really into it. People still argue if that's even house music, but I think it is some sort of, you know.
A lot of house head would disagree on that one, but if you try to listen carefully and try to filter out a lot of the elements, it's really housey.
Yeah, that's true.
One thing I'm interested, as in photography, as in music, digital aspect made the music more democratic. I mean, it's of course 20 years ago there were a way smaller number of producers in DJ.
Yeah.
Now it's almost gigantic. Everybody can produce. So, and then very recently, the last 2 years, everything is reshaped by AI.
Yeah.
People are using AI to do everything: art, text, and music.
True.
So how do you feel about this thing?
Oof.
It's a tricky question.
It is because I mean I think I posted something regarding AI actually, because I think beginning of the month someone posted you should be careful. I mean there was an AI post about how you could basically create AI images
Right.
with just basic description,
Typing in.
and then they'll just pop up. And I kind of made this post that kind of warned about AI and how it could really easily progress to to the music industry, even in the dance music industry, how easy it is. Because now it's easy to make music. I mean, easier before. Before you used to have to like really get your samples or really record your samples and be able, you have to know what sound you're gunning for. Now it's so much easier with
you need to have a proper studio with all your instruments.
Right.
Back in the days, now you can just do it digitally with a DAW.
Exactly. Everything is just all in the box. Like you open your laptop, you download Ableton FL or whatever, and then next thing you know, you just buy a couple of like sample packs. You're good to go.
And now with AI,
it's like you don't need sample packs. You could just
ask the AI, please, can you create this for me?
Exactly. I mean, now.
I mean, you just type in the chords progression and some put in like hi-hat, and then it would.
Well, but that's the point. It became democratic, so it's easier to produce.
Right.
Still, quality is different from
That's true.
mass production.
That's true.
It's not easier to create good music.
Right.
It's easier to give music.
That's true.
You know what I see from this? So see, if everyone gears towards that direction, then I think DJing would come back to a level where we perform live.
With the keyboard, I see a
true.
good DJ, I don't remember the name, a great DJ performing only live with a Ableton kind and samplers. And it's like a piano, it's playing.
And that's how you beat it.
It's probably the next step to being someone higher.
Giuseppe Ottaviani did it, right? He like totally like does his sets
Exactly.
full on live. But yeah, with that said, it's a lot. It's a double-edged sword again, because I feel like AI will crush the industry, just like how like you have this idea of ghost production where DJs can basically it's an industry. People, DJs can just ask other producers to make a track for them anonymously. They'll
A ghost producer.
Yeah, they'll just basically get the track for them without even saying anything, and they'll pawn it as their own. AI does it even faster and does it even more, more accessibly. You don't need to get a ghost producer. You can just straight up like get someone else to do it for you, really fast and easy.
I saw this guy who posted on IG.
Yeah.
He was claiming that he tried typing in the general music, what he wanted to make the general music.
Yeah.
And made AI do it.
Yeah, it sounded pretty well.
And then it sounded pretty well, but see, it's not really AI who did it. It's actually he did it. So he's using AI as a marketing level right now.
Oh.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So he keeps telling people that the song was actually made by AI, where in fact he actually made it. So it's just creating hype.
Marketing. That's marketing. Marketing and communication is big since ever, since it's become. And of course now digital, social media, marketing become bigger. First aspect of this that I will come to make you the question. First aspect is that how I saw Boiler Room changing the game.
Yeah.
Okay, Boiler Room changed a lot of the underground music thing. From there, then we had the step after of new DJs being good DJs, but becoming famous, becoming recognized is not for their tracks or for their quality, but for their physical performance,
Right.
for their ability to have followers on Instagram, their ability to communicate. Very good.
Yeah.
So it's how you communicate today. It's very often more important of what you do.
Yeah.
Instagram, you book DJs. Me, myself, as a club owner, I have a new DJ. They sell themselves an international DJ.
Yeah.
First thing I do, check the followers. So I'm influenced too. Also, if I shouldn't, this DJ will bring me more people.
Right.
This DJ no. So sometimes you need to make how can I say, a balance between how good they are, how they feel my club.
Right. That's true. That's true.
How do you see these new guys?
As also an event producer, that's something that I have to also kind of watch out for. There's a lot of new DJs that are really good, but they're not good marketing. They don't know how to market themselves, and that's a bad thing for event producers, because you want to book them, but how do you book someone when they don't have a following? When you believe in them, but you can't justify booking them at the expense of your event or your production. So I think this is the time where a lot of DJs have to understand that you can't just solely play and that's it. Yeah. Nowadays, especially post-pandemic, and I keep telling this to my students in Sessions Academy, you can't expect to just play. Before pandemic, maybe, but now you have to promote yourself. You have to be able to strongly get the people that you want. You have to be that package. People, venues, events are not gonna get. They're gonna be. They're struggling to get people in their club first and foremost. They're still struggling from the pandemic, so they need DJs that can actually help them out, and they're more likely to get the DJs and the talent that can do it for them as well, for the same amount, with the following and everything else too. It sounds bad, but that's the way it is now.
And here, the last step, it becomes TikTok.
Yeah.
It's changing again the music more, because now everything is short. There are requests, people that do requests, do you have TikTok music? First time they asked to me, so TikTok has music?
Why don't we do TikToks and put on underground music so we could like
We do
get
exactly. TikTok, we are hunting you with underground. You know, it's like that. We need to re-educate to quality, not TikTok music.
Not TikTok music, absolutely. And TikTok music, TikTok, and that argument, I guess TikTok started doing DJ lessons.
But yeah,
They started doing DJ lessons. It's like how to DJ, you know, club standards. And then I saw this one TikTok video, and wow, it was all the wrong stuff. And I was like, it was like some kid DJing, and then he was straight up like DJing, and you know, when you're fading it in, they're fading it in the wrong spot. They're fading it in like the first 2 minutes of the song, which is something that you obviously don't really do. And it's all off phrase, mind you. And if you get into DJing, being off phrase is the worst thing you could ever be at when you're DJing. And this is what they're teaching in TikTok, and it sucks.
As a customer, when I go to dance, I see this DJ coming from EDM culture that they change track every 2 minutes. You are not able to enjoy and to get into the vibe. Bam, bam, bam. It's not a mashup.
Yeah.
It's like
I would see that as a disrespect for the artist of the song, like you know.
Give me time. I create this track too. It's a journey.
Yeah.
You don't want to listen the 6 minute journey. I get it.
Yeah.
But give me time. Give me time to go to my bridge,
Right.
to come out from there, and then there is the moment you can take another track.
Exactly.
No. Pam 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 pam. Short, fast. So they come 15 minutes. Oh, I heard 7 tracks. Amazing. They come out another club. It's not.
Yeah.
Fill up more questions.
No, I think that's enough for today. If you don't have anything anymore.
All right. So before we wrap up, we're gonna do another shot.
Yes, let's get drunk.
Let's do the
Cheers.
last
Thank
cheers.
you, Luis.
Cheers.
Thanks, Parnassus.
Thank you
Thank you,
guys
guys.
to follow us.
And see you again on the next White Banana podcast. Paulie here, Parnassus, and Jimmy.
Cheers.
Ciao.
Okay, this is cool.